Most people planting survival gardens are going to starve. They are growing the wrong plants. Today, I'm revealing the 7 specific survival plants that will actually keep you alive when the life support system fails. While others grow salads, you'll be growing biological insurance. I have spent months studying the highest yielding zero-input survival crops on the planet. No fertilizer, no city water, no permission from any system. These are not ordinary vegetables. We're counting down 7 essential survival plants, but 3 plants are absolutely very important. Number 5 is a bush that takes 2 full years to produce. If you are not growing it now, you will not have it when you need it. Number 3 solves what survival experts call the calorie gap, and number 1 can replace an entire shelf of supplements. According to food security research, it is one of the most complete nutritional plants ever recorded. If you are not growing this by the time trucks stop, your window closes. If you are done depending on a system you cannot control, type ready in the comments, subscribe and turn on the bell. Let's start with number 7. Plant number 7, sunflowers, the calorie factory that grows anywhere. When most people think survival garden, they think vegetables, tomatoes, beans, greens. Nobody thinks sunflowers, and that is a critical mistake. Because in a grid-down scenario, your biggest threat is not lack of vitamins, it is lack of calories. Your body burns between 1,800 and 2,500 calories a day just to stay alive. Most survival gardens produce low-calorie foods, lettuce, cucumbers, herbs. They keep you nourished, but they do not keep you fueled. You will starve slowly while eating salads. Sunflowers solve that problem. One sunflower head produces up to 1,000 seeds. Those seeds are dense with calories, healthy fats, protein, vitamin E, magnesium, and selenium. They are one of the most calorie-efficient crops you can grow per square foot, and they grow almost anywhere. Poor soil, drought conditions, extreme heat. Sunflowers do not care. They chase the sun and produce abundantly even in neglected ground. You can eat the seeds raw, roast them, press them for cooking oil, or grind them into a flour substitute. One plant, multiple survival functions. In a world without grocery stores, calories become currency. Every other plant on this list delivers nutrients. Sunflowers deliver the raw energy your body needs to use those nutrients. Without calories, nothing else matters. That is why sunflowers are the foundation of any serious survival garden. And here is a detail most people overlook. Sunflower seeds store for months in a cool, dry place without any special equipment. No canning, no refrigeration, just harvest, dry, and store. You have calorie reserves ready whenever you need them. Sunflowers keep you fueled. But number 6 keeps something else alive that most people forget about until it is too late. Plant number 6, lemon balm, the calming powerhouse that never dies. Here is a question nobody asks when planning for emergencies. What happens to your mind when the grid goes down? When the stress is constant, the uncertainty is endless, and sleep becomes impossible? You can stockpile all the food in the world. If your nervous system collapses, you cannot function. Lemon balm is one of the most powerful natural calming plants on Earth. It contains compounds called rosmarinic acid and flavonoids that directly support the nervous system, reduce tension, and promote deep, restful sleep without grogginess. In a high-stress survival situation, this plant is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Brew the leaves as tea before bed, and your body shifts from fight or flight mode into recovery mode. Sleep is when your body repairs muscle, consolidates memory, and strengthens immunity. Without quality sleep, your body breaks down fast no matter how well you eat. Lemon balm is virtually indestructible. Plant it once and it comes back year after year. It spreads aggressively, thrives in shade or sun, tolerates poor soil and drought. You cannot kill it, even if you try. In a grid-down scenario, that resilience is exactly what you need. The leaves also support digestion. Steep them fresh or dried, and the tea soothes an upset stomach, reduces bloating, and helps your body absorb nutrients from whatever survival food you are eating. One plant that protects your mind, your sleep, and your gut. Lemon balm protects your mind. Number 5 protects something even more fundamental, your immune system. Plant number 5, elderberry, the immune shield that grows on a bush. What is the first thing that disappears from store shelves when a crisis hits? Immune support supplements. Vitamin C, zinc, elderberry syrup. People panic buy them in hours. Then they are gone. What if you never needed to buy them? Elderberry is one of the most potent natural immune boosters on the planet. The dark purple berries are packed with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that strengthen your body's natural defense systems. They also contain vitamins A, B6, and C, along with iron and potassium. One bush produces pounds of berries every season. Cook them into syrup that lasts months. Dry them for year-round use. Brew them into tea that delivers immune-boosting nutrients with every cup. One elderberry bush replaces an entire shelf of supplements that will not exist when the supply chain breaks. But elderberry bushes take 2 to 3 years to reach full production. If you wait until the crisis starts, you are already too late. The people who planted 2 years ago will have pounds of immune-boosting superfood. The people who waited will have nothing. This is a plant you grow before you need it. One important rule: never eat raw elderberries. They must be cooked first. Raw berries contain compounds that cause serious stomach distress. Cook them into syrup, jam, or tea, and they become one of the most valuable survival foods you can produce at home. Elderberry shields your immunity. Number 4 replaces an entire category of nutrition most survival gardens cannot produce. Plant number 4, moringa, the tree that replaces your multivitamin. What if one single tree could replace almost every supplement in your cabinet? What if you could pick a handful of leaves and get more nutrition than most people get from an entire meal? That tree exists, and it grows faster than almost any food plant on the planet. Moringa, also called the miracle tree, and for once, the nickname is not an exaggeration. Moringa leaves contain 7 times the vitamin C of oranges, 4 times the calcium of milk, 4 times the vitamin A of carrots, 3 times the potassium of bananas, 2 times the protein of yogurt, all from leaves you can pick fresh every day from a tree in your yard. In a grid-down scenario, nutritional deficiency becomes a silent threat within weeks. Your body breaks down without essential vitamins and minerals. Energy drops, immunity weakens, muscles waste, bones soften. Moringa prevents all of that from a single source. You do not need 10 different crops. You need one moringa tree. The leaves can be eaten fresh, cooked like spinach, or dried into powder that stays potent for months. Add it to any food, any soup, any water, turning a basic survival meal into a nutrient-dense superfood. Moringa grows explosively fast. In warm climates, 10 feet in its first year. The United Nations uses moringa in food crisis zones worldwide, the go-to plant when populations need maximum nutrition from minimum resources. If it is good enough for international emergency programs, it is good enough for your backyard. Moringa replaces your vitamins. Number 3 solves a problem most preppers never consider until it becomes an emergency. Plant. Number 3, aloe vera, the living first aid kit. Remember I said number 3 solves a problem most preppers overlook? Here it is. When the grid goes down, what do you do when someone gets burned, cut, develops a skin infection? No pharmacy, no emergency room, no antibacterial cream anywhere. Aloe vera, the only plant on this list that protects you from the outside in. Every survival plan focuses on food, almost none focus on topical protection. But in a long-term grid-down situation, injuries become the most dangerous daily threat. A simple cut that gets infected can become life-threatening when professional help is unavailable. Aloe vera is the first line of defense. The gel inside aloe leaves contains over 75 active compounds. Vitamins A, C, E, enzymes that reduce swelling, natural antibacterial agents, anti-inflammatory compounds that soothe burns and irritated skin. Slice a leaf, apply the gel, and your body gets immediate topical protection that no expired first aid kit can match. Aloe is not just external. The inner gel supports digestive function, it soothes internal irritation, and contains polysaccharides that support gut lining integrity and help your body absorb nutrients efficiently. In a survival situation where food quality is unpredictable, that internal protection becomes critical. Aloe grows easily indoors or outdoors, requires almost no water, propagates itself by producing pups from the base. One plant becomes 5 within a year, 5 become 20. A self-replicating first aid system that never runs out, never expires. Every household should have at least 3 mature aloe plants growing right now, not when crisis hits. Now, aloe protects externally. Number 2 protects internally in a way no other plant can. It purifies something you cannot survive 3 days without. Plant number 2, peppermint, the digestive powerhouse that purifies everything. In a survival scenario, what takes more people down than starvation, bad water, contaminated food, gut shutdowns your digestive system cannot recover from? You can have a garden full of food. If your body cannot process it, you are finished. Peppermint is the most underrated survival plant in existence. Peppermint contains menthol, rosmarinic acid, and powerful volatile oils that do 3 critical things. First, they support digestion by relaxing the smooth muscles of your gut. When your system is stressed from unfamiliar food, peppermint keeps things moving instead of cramping and shutting down. Second, peppermint has natural antimicrobial properties. Strong peppermint tea from fresh leaves helps purify questionable water when boiling alone is not enough. It adds a powerful extra layer of protection. In a grid-down situation where water quality is uncertain and filtration systems are unavailable, Every additional layer of purification could be the difference between staying strong and being knocked out for days. Third, peppermint supports respiratory function. Menthol opens airways, clears congestion, helps lungs work efficiently. When you are physically active in survival, chopping wood, hauling water, building shelter, respiratory efficiency determines whether you last all day or collapse by noon. Peppermint is almost impossible to destroy. Plant it once, it takes over. Spreads through runners, returns every spring stronger, grows in shade, sun, wet, or dry soil. It just produces, endlessly. Free. Fresh peppermint tea supports digestion, purifies water, clears airways, reduces nausea, repels insects naturally. One plant. 5 survival functions. Costs less than $2 to start a patch that will outlive you. Peppermint protects your gut and purifies water. Number 1. The most important survival plant of all. Civilizations have gone to war over what this one produces. Plant number 1. Sweet potato, the ultimate survival crop. Every plant on this list is important, but if you could only grow one plant for the rest of your life, this is the one. No contest. Sweet potato. Before you think this is just another vegetable, let me explain why this single crop has kept more humans alive throughout history than almost any other plant on Earth. Sweet potato is not just food. It is a complete survival system disguised as a root vegetable. The tubers are packed with complex carbohydrates for sustained energy. Beta-carotene, vitamin C, potassium, manganese, fiber. One medium sweet potato delivers over 400% of your daily vitamin A. That is not a supplement. That is one potato from your garden. But tubers are only half the story. The leaves are edible and incredibly nutritious. Most people do not know this. The greens contain protein, iron, calcium, vitamins B and K. In Africa and Asia, sweet potato leaves are a primary green vegetable. One plant gives you a calorie-dense root underground and nutrient-dense greens above ground simultaneously. The growing characteristics make sweet potato the undisputed #1 survival crop. Grows in poor soil, tolerates drought, resists most pests, needs no fertilizer, spreads through vine cuttings so you never buy seeds again. One harvest gives you food and planting material for next season. A self-perpetuating food system requiring almost zero input. In a grid-down scenario, calorie production per square foot determines survival. Sweet potatoes produce more calories per acre than wheat, rice, or corn. Grow faster. Store longer without refrigeration. A properly cured sweet potato lasts 4 to 6 months in a cool, dark room. No canning, no freezer, no electricity, just a root cellar, and you have food through the entire winter. And unlike grains that require processing equipment to turn into edible food, sweet potatoes are ready to eat the moment you pull them from the ground. Bake them, boil them, roast them, mash them, dry them into chips lasting months, turn greens into soups and salads. The versatility is unmatched, and sweet potatoes are one of the few survival foods people actually enjoy. That matters when morale is the difference between giving up and pushing through. Sweet potatoes have been a staple survival food for thousands of years across dozens of cultures, carried on ships during long voyages, first crop recommended by food security organizations. When everything else fails, sweet potatoes keep people alive, strong, nourished, functioning. That is why this plant sits at #1. How to start today? Do not wait. Every plant here takes time to establish. Elderberry needs 2 years, moringa needs a full season, aloe needs time to mature. Sweet potatoes need a season to build seed stock. The time to plant is now while garden centers are still open. Start with sweet potatoes and moringa for food. Add aloe for protection. Plant peppermint and lemon balm for gut support and calm. Grow elderberry for immune strength. Add sunflowers for calorie density. 7 plants, 1 backyard. A complete survival nutrition system running on sunlight and water. Here are some final words. The grid is not guaranteed. The supply chain is not guaranteed. The grocery store is not guaranteed. But a seed in the ground is the most reliable system humans have ever known. It worked for 10,000 years before electricity existed. It will work for 10,000 years after the last generator runs out of fuel. The people who thrive when everything collapses are not the ones with the biggest stockpile. They are the ones who learn to grow their own. 7 plants. That is all it takes. Self-reliance is not fear. It is freedom. The freedom to feed yourself. Protect your family. Look at an empty shelf and know it does not matter because everything you need is growing in your backyard. Comment which plant you are growing first. Share this with someone who thinks survival means canned food and bottled water. Subscribe and hit the bell. Type 1 if you are planting this week. Type 0 if you think the grid lasts forever. Stay prepared, stay rooted. The best time to plant was last year. The second best time is right now.